Hi, I'm Doug Jones of Buyers Realty. We're going to be going through all of the paperwork that a seller will be signing and reviewing, and the buyer will be signing and reviewing. And today I'm going to talk about three forms that are up front pretty much right away. The first one is the agent visual inspection. An agent is required to do a visual inspection on the house. And let me see what if there's read here. I've got a few comments. It says California law requires a real estate broker or salesperson conduct a reasonably competent and diligent visual inspection. Now, they're not asking us to move things. They're not asking us to look under rugs, to move furniture, not asking us to go in the attic. But we have to just do a visual inspection on the walkthrough through the house. And then the seller will be signing that. And this is part of the disclosure that will go into the disclosure package. It also says that the agent will provide and will not provide any analysis to determine the cause or source of something they see. Let's say I see a water stain right here in the ceiling. Well, I see a stain. That's what I see. That's what I write down. That source could be water, could be maybe something else. I don't know what it could be, but we're not going to tell you what the source is or anything about the repair. That's not our job. Our job is just to report what we see. And California law says that a buyer has a duty to exercise reasonable care to protect himself or herself. Now, a seller has requirement to disclose honestly and not cover anything up. A buyer has also the requirement to protect themselves. So that's the agent visual inspection. And this is something that most agents will probably do the first time they go out and visit a client at home there. The next one is a transfer disclosure statement. And what's funny about this form is it's called a TDS 11, Transfer Disclosure Statement 11. In the old days, a long time ago, it used to be called a TDS 14. And I asked the real estate board one time, what's the difference between the 14 and the 11? They said, well, the 14 was on legal size paper, the 11 is on 11-inch paper. So that's all the difference there was. But some things on here, it says that down here in yellow, there's a lot of questions they're going to ask. And they're going to ask just everything about the house. And you're going to answer yes or no. And if it's a yes, you're going to write something about what happened in that event. But it says that you have to have operable smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors in the appropriate rooms per California law. And they have to be they're approved. What I mean, they're approved. If they're sold in California, they're going to be approved. So they got to be approved detectors. Also, the tank, the water tank, has to be braced and usually strapped. And we're always looking for two straps. We call that strap. One strap, not going to do it. They're going to make people go back and do another inspection. Now, I didn't mean to say this. I want to talk about a 442 very quickly. A 442 is a form that an appraiser does when that appraiser has to go back. So if the appraiser comes to the house and the smoke detector is not there, the appraiser many times, almost all times, will say, I got to come back. And they're going to charge you another $150, $200 just to come back and make sure that that smoke detector is there. Same thing with the water heater. It's got to be strapped. If it's not strapped, they're going to write on the appraisal report, water heater not strapped. They got to come back. Going to take more time. Going to take a little bit more money. So make sure those things are done. And then the last one I have here is it's called a seller property questionnaire. And it's for things that maybe you're not asking the TDS. And it says, but here's something interesting about this. It says, if you are not sure how to answer a question, you're not sure how to answer this question, consult a real estate attorney in California of your choosing. The realtor, the broker, cannot really give you advice on the answer, how to answer these questions. So if you're confused about how to answer a question, it says right here, consult a real estate attorney. And remember, as a seller, you are protecting yourself. That's what these papers are really about to me. They're make sure that you disclose everything. If you disclose everything, then there's no problem. But the thing is, you got to make sure you do disclose everything honestly, fairly, above board, and just be as transparent as you can be. That will keep you out of trouble, because you don't want somebody coming back a year from now saying, "Oh, we didn't know." And I've had that. I've had that with buyers. My buyer bought a house, and he said, "You know, it looks like there was a water stain in the basement. I think there was a problem here." The seller said, "No, no problem." Well, the first winter he was there and it started raining, his basement filled up. Well, he went and did an arbitration, and which a judge was brought in to determine who was right and who was wrong. And my client won $14,000 because it wasn't properly disclosed on that transfer disclosure. If it had been disclosed, there'd been no complaint. So make sure you fill these things out properly, and make sure that you are understanding the questions, and that if you don't understand the question, you do reach out to a real estate attorney. So we'll keep talking about the forms, and I hope this helps a little bit.